Welcome to twoquestions.tv. With me today is Mitch Matthews, and we're talking about dreaming big. Welcome to twoquestions.tv. I'm Susan Baroncini-Moe. Joining me today is Mitch Matthews. He's a keynote speaker, success coach, entrepreneur, author, and he's the podcast host of Dream, Think, Do. He's also the founder of the Big Dream Gathering, and that's what we're talking about today. Hi, Mitch. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Susan. This is awesome.
It's been too long.
It has been too long. I said any excuse to get to talk to Susan, I'm in. Are you kidding? It's awesome.
I feel the same way. You know what's funny is we haven't actually seen each other than around social media since we broke a world record together.
Right. Exactly right. How crazy is that?
Oh,
yeah. Talk about a big dream.
Yeah, right?
I love that. When you came to me with that, I was like, that's audacious. I want in. I love
it. Right on.
So, yeah.
Well, it's been a few years since I happened upon a Big Dream Gathering at an event. That's actually where we met. But,
right.
and I loved it. I was totally moved and emotional and this is amazing. So for those viewers of the show who haven't yet experienced the Big Dream Gathering, can you describe what it is and why you created it?
Absolutely. So the event itself is pretty amazing. I always say it's a taste of heaven because basically these events, people come together. I kick it off with a little talk, telling the story of how I got started, giving people some strategies and things like that. But then we very quickly move into the process of writing some of our dreams down on sheets of paper. We call them dream sheets. Then we put them up on the walls. And then we go around and look at each other's dreams to see if we can help, either through an idea, an offer to help, some encouragement. And we've had all sorts of amazing connections happen, dreams get launched, and all of that. But most importantly, people just tell us, thank you so much for the opportunity to just dream. And so, it's just amazing. It started as a happy accident, but has really grown into a movement.
It's really cool because, when you're in it, you would think, I think from the outside, you would think, oh, I would get so much help for my idea. But when you're in it, you get so excited about who can I help? It becomes very much like a giving spirit of I want to look at all the dreams and see all the ways in which I could suggest someone I know or make a connection or have an idea or suggest a book, or maybe I can actually help with that person. It's a really interesting thing that I saw happen, not just within myself, but with everyone there.
And I think that's the part that sneaks up on people. I think everybody, you hear Big Dream Gathering, and I think people assume, okay, I'm going to be dreaming or thinking about my goals. And that's great, but people don't always know about kind of the gathering part, the helping each other out. And we just did one in Reno, and it was so great because, we had, 150 people there or so. And at the end, I do a little Q&A because I always love to get people talking. What was your experience? And we just hear that from people after, person after person saying, I was really surprised by that, or it was so addictive and that was so great. But at the end, I had someone raise her hand. She was probably in her early 70s, and she raised her hand and she said, I don't really have a question. I've got a comment. And I said, oh, I'm all in. What do you got? And she said, well, I came in here tonight and there'd actually been a shooting the night before. Our hotel in Reno had been on lockdown. There was all sorts of bad news in the news, all of those things. And that surrounds us. I mean, you just check your news feed. There's plenty of bad things happening in the world. And she said, I got to tell you, I came in here and my heart was hurting. And she said, but I saw people dreaming tonight, but more importantly, I saw people helping each other with their dreams. And she said, the world's going to be okay. She said, I'm walking out of here with hope again. She's like, thanks for restoring my hope. And I said, that was all of us together. Right. And I do think, and that's why I say it's a taste of heaven. I think that's how we're programmed initially. That's our DNA, is to dream big and to help each other. But that gets beat up along the way, right? Our ability to dream and our willingness to help others, those things kind of get beat up. And so to have something like this where people really get that chance to do both, to dream, but also encourage and help each other out, I think it just gets us back to our original wiring.
Well, that's a really good point you make about it getting beat up. I mean, we try things, we, experiment with things, and maybe they don't go as well as we hope. And then we're kind of in that place of, oh no, I failed. And we
Right.
see failure as this terrible thing, and I don't want to try anymore, or maybe that's not who I'm not who I thought I was, and all those things happen, and it really does get beaten up. And knowing you're in a safe place where you can share a big dream with a bunch of people and know that they're going to help you is a really freeing thing, I think. And I think you're exactly right. It reprograms you a little bit and refreshes it. Very cool.
Absolutely. Well, it's
Very
kind of
cool.
one of those, it's actually, when people hear about it, they go, "Aw," a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's so altruistic. That's so nice." But as I said, it was a happy accident. I mean, talk about, the reason why the Big Dream Gathering exists was back in 2006. I was working on one of my own dreams, and over the course of a very short period of time, it was on the ropes. We were out of ideas, out of options, almost out of money. And on a Saturday morning, I was contemplating quitting. Like I was tired, I was embarrassed, I was scared. And I had this realization, I need help. And then I started to think, well, maybe I could ask some friends for help on my dream. And then I started to realize, well, if I'm going to ask them about, for help for mine, I should probably know what theirs are. Maybe I could help them with theirs. And so this idea of a big dream gathering came to mind. And, I pitched my wife on it, and this just proves I married up because, here we are, out of time, out of options, out of money. And my idea is to throw a party, right? But we did. We had everybody in our house, said, let's do this. And, I thought it was going to last a couple of hours on a Tuesday night. We lost control of it. It went for a full week. And so we got help. A bunch of other people got help. And so we just decided to keep that going. Initially, we just did them once a year in Des Moines. That's where I'm from. But then that blossomed into doing them all over the country. And that's where it's gone ever since.
I do love Des Moines.
Yeah, right? It's good town.
I do miss it. I got to get back there one of these days.
You do. Absolutely. It misses you.
Oh man, maybe not. All right. Okay. So somebody's watching today, this show, and they have a big dream. What's the most common thing that you see holding people back? And for that person who's watching today who has a big dream, what's the first step that they should take toward making it happen?
Absolutely. So I'm guessing that people that are spending time with you, they are dreaming, right?
If
they're hanging out with Susan, they've got some big dreams. But I would say before that even starts, though, probably one of the most common things that we see is that when people come to a big dream gathering, some will come with ideas, some will come with big dreams. Most come in, if they're honest, saying, I'm hoping to figure that out. Like, I don't know what my dreams are. And one of the things we encourage people to do is not just come up with one dream, right? And if anything, if I was going to change anything, I'd probably change the name just a little bit, because sometimes people put so much pressure on themselves to say, what's my one big dream? I want to get people dreaming on multiple levels in different areas of their life. So I say it starts with giving yourself permission to dream, and in some cases, dream again, right? And so to be able to say, don't weigh out whether it's your big dream, the one big dream. I think we're supposed to live a life full of dreams and dreams being accomplished. That's a great adventure if we do that. So to be able to say that's where it can start is just giving yourself that permission to dream again. But then to also give yourself permission to start small. Because again, I know rock stars spend time with you, right? They're watching this, they're listening to this. So I'm guessing they're very busy. I'm guessing most of the people that are spending time with you, if I said, oh my gosh, tell me about what you do with your spare time, they'd say, well, I had spare time a Tuesday ago last year, right? It's that I'm guessing that they don't think of themselves having just tons of spare time. So to be able to say, what are some small things? What are some small steps that you can take towards your big dream? And I always love, especially when it comes to dreams and goals, to even work at those in 15-minute increments. I know we're both big fans of breaking things down into those small steps and being able to fit them in. And if you spend 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week over the course of a year, that's over 60 hours devoted to that dream. Doesn't feel like much in the moment, but if you really go after it, it's amazing what you can do with that time.
I love it. Very cool. And so it becomes very manageable.
Right. Absolutely. Well, and it's also one of those things of most people say, well, I either don't have time or I don't have money. And to be able to go after this thing. And I always say, if you can break it down into those small things, you can find the time and gradually you can find the money. I mean, we've had people post dreams about traveling the world. And when they put that up on the wall, it might as well have been, say, I want to go to Mars. Right. But they took this approach and started to say, okay, how can I do this? We just had somebody say, it was 4 years ago now. They said they wanted to go to all 7 continents. And at the time, she'd been around the United States, but that was it. And within 4 years, because she started to look for opportunities, she signed up for a missions trip. It just was awareness that really allowed her to open up. She's been to all but Antarctica, and she's working on that now. So it's just one of those where, and she's not like super rich. She's not independently wealthy, but she's just figured out ways to break it down and go after it and be open to opportunities as they come.
I feel like that's really when you start working toward a goal, that's really what happens when you put your mind towards something. You start to see the options, you start to see possibilities and solutions, and your mind sort of solves problems in the way. It just happens.
Absolutely.
It's
well,
like
I would say take that approach. I was not good at science. I was definitely one of those kids that made the upper half of my class look better, right? I was not great in school, but I have since fallen in love with science. And one of the things I love about science is just that mentality of the scientific method or to experiment. And as scientists, they go in and they say, okay, here's my hypothesis. Here's how I think it's going to go. Now I'm going to experiment, right? And as they do that, if the experiment doesn't go the way they thought, that's not failure. That's learning, right? And you'll say, okay, I learned. So either I need to change my hypothesis or the way that I'm going about it. And I love that same approach when we go after dreams and goals, to be able to say, all right, this is my hypothesis, my best guess, like an educated guess of how it's going to go. Now I'm going to try this out in small steps, and to be able to say, all right, what do I learn as I do that? There's 2 L's in science. I got to, the hilarious thing is they recently had me speak to 100 PhDs who were getting an award on innovation, and they asked me to speak on innovation. I'm like, I barely got my BA, and you're wanting me to talk with these guys about PhD. But we talked about this, and how, I just relayed how fascinated I was, but they taught me about the 2 L's of science, which is to learn fast and limit risk. And I think those 2 things are kind of a guiding force that we can take as we go after our dreams too, to be able to say, all right, how do I learn fast? How do I do these things? And how do I limit risk? So it's not just quitting a career maybe that's brought you income and success to just go do something you want to do. It's finding ways to do it alongside, or, if you want to try a new sport or a new hobby, don't go out and spend $10,000 on that thing. Go talk to somebody that's doing it, or go take a class. It's those giving yourself permission to start small.
Exactly. Yes. People, don't go quit your jobs.
Exactly.
I heard on 2 questions. No, don't go quit your job.
Susan told me to.
No, Susan always tells you not to. Oh my gosh.
So true.
Oh, Mitch, this has always been a delight. I always am so happy to talk to you.
Absolutely. Me too. Anytime you call me, we'll do 2 questions 10 times a week. That's fine.
No joke. I will call you again. I mean, honestly, this big dream gathering, maybe just add in like a big dreams gathering.
Yeah, right. Exactly right. Open it wide open. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But people can come. We're getting to do a number of events this year again, and we'll be all around the country. So people can visit Big Dream Gathering to bigdreamgathering.com to check out the schedule, find out more, all of those things.
Perfect. And it's a really special event. Like, honestly, I know you are the most modest and humble of people, but you have created something so magical and so special. And so I hope that every once in a while you stop for a minute and go, yeah, yay me. I do. I hope you do that once in a while. You're very humble, but I do hope that you do appreciate, like, you've touched a lot of lives with this. So we're going to have the links to all of the places where people can find out about you and about the Big Dream Gathering and the schedule on the notes for today, because I want people to go to this thing. It's so cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, viewers, look for those links. They're going to be in the show notes for today. That's down there. Make sure you look for them. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.